Hello, welcome to my project, MementoMori Backstage Space Evaluation. My name is Tyler, and this is specifically for INEN 4376. So let's go ahead and get started. So just to give you a little background on the company that I work for, so I work for the Walt Disney Company. The Walt Disney Company is made up of storytellers to make the impossible possible. There are many different sectors within the Walt Disney Company. You have Walt Disney Studios, you have ABC, you have Interactive, many different sections. But this project is specifically going to be talking about the Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Walt Disney World has 24 resorts, 4 theme parks, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, and 2 water parks, Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach. We also have a bunch of recreational options for guests around the resort if they decide not to go to the park. We have swimming pools, we have arcades, we have Disney Springs, which is a fun place for people to go shopping and for things to do. So specifically for this project, it's going to be geared at the Magic Kingdom Park. I work in the buildings department there at Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is for engineering services is split up into multiple sections that include west attractions, south attractions, north attractions, buildings, and support. So what buildings encompasses is the painters, the carpenters, the welders, anything that has to do with the building or a structure. The buildings department is the one that's in charge of that. This project is going to be directly related to the carpenter shop because they're the ones that are going to be building the improvements for the backstage area. So speaking of, the backstage area is going to be part of MementoMori. So MementoMori is a merchandise location that is at Magic Kingdom. Before it was called Yankee Traders, but now with the popularity of the famous Haunted Mansion shop, they wanted to add a specific merchandise location for this ride, and so they named it MementoMori. This project is going to be specifically calling out what we provide to our guests called a ghost picture. So just a little background on the ghost picture. So what happens from a guest perspective is that you go into this dark room, you take a picture, the picture is sent off through the spirits, and once the picture is done being handled by the spirits, it comes back through a bookshelf, and your picture is then transformed into a ghost. Now from a realistic standpoint, from an engineering standpoint, what happens is the PhotoPass person takes a picture of you. The picture is sent to a computer. The computer then prints out the picture automatically, and then the cast member working backstage takes the picture, puts a piece of lamination sheet on top of it, sends it through the lamination machine, and then sticks it into a PhotoPass sleeve, and then sends it through the bookcase. So as you can imagine, all those steps require a little bit of space to work with, and they kind of didn't anticipate the amount of space that it was going to be required to do this function. And with the changing of the shop, we had to evaluate the space where they do this picture so that we would be able to do this efficiently. So here's a little bit of more background on the actual backstage area. Again, I will show you a picture of the backstage area to give you a little bit more of a visual. So the objective in this was to modify the backstage area at MementoMori for this ghost picture. We wanted to add additional space for another lamination machine for efficiency reasons during the holiday season. This is a very popular item, and we need to be able to accommodate for the guests. Next, we would add additional workspace for cast members. This would be leveling out the cabinets that are back there. I'll show you in a second, but the cabinets are uneven, so there is less room for movement for the cast members to move easily from one working space to the next. And then lastly, reduce the amount of movements by cast members. By doing this, we're going to add some shelving, raise the counters again, add another stress mat. So the approach that I took is that, like I said, raise the counters where the current laminator sits. So the current laminator is sitting at an uneven level from everything else. Raising the counter will allow you to move the laminator wherever you need to and add a second one. Adding shelving above the area with a single divider for two items needed to create a picture, the laminate and the PhotoPass sleeve. So again, in the next picture, I'll show you where the shelf would go, adding one side for the laminate and the other side for a PhotoPass. This will allow for less cast member movement to be reaching around the room to grab things, and it also allows for more space in other areas. And then lastly, build doors for the current underhead cabinets to reduce the amount of times casts are bending down to get items and to reduce the trip hazard. Just to give you an idea of the dimensions, not super crucial at this point, but I will show you how this plays into effect later on in the presentation. So here is the picture of the backstage area as it is current state. So starting from left to right, we have the eliminate trip hazard circled. You can see the boxes are sticking outside of the underhead cabinets, and all those boxes are the laminate for the picture. They go right over the stress pad, so the use of the stress pad is now eliminated because of these boxes, and it causes a huge safety issue for the cast members. So what we would do here is we would remove the boxes from this area, and we would create doors for these cabinets so that they would not be able to use these cabinets for these large boxes. Next, this eliminate wasted space. So under here we have all of these PhotoPass sleeves as well as on top. In a daily production we would never use all of these sleeves, so removing all of these sleeves from this area is going to create more space from this area. And then lastly, adding a new shelf like I suggested right here is going to give you the option of putting your laminate on one side and your PhotoPass sleeves on one side for cast members to easily grab them and stick it through the lamination machine. That way they don't have to come over here and bend down and grab these boxes and then walk over here, grab the PhotoPass, and then send it through the bookshelf, which is right here. Also discussed was raising the cabinet level. So you can see right here, this is the lamination machine underneath the sheet. You can see that from this picture, it's down a whole foot from the other cabinets off to the left and right of it. If this were to be raised, you could easily move the lamination machine from left to right and move it over here with all this extra junk on the cabinet. You could set a second lamination machine. So this space is extremely tight, but with all the dimensions that we got and with these suggestions, we were able to come up with a new look for this backstage area. So this look would include the printer off to the left with the supplies needed. So whenever the picture goes through the lamination machine, sometimes it comes out with extra pieces on it and they cut the laminate off of it so that it comes out nice and clean for the guests. Those dimensions are now allowing for the two lamination machines to be sitting right next to each other with the supplies in the middle, and then above would be the PhotoPass pictures in the laminate. We would add a stress mat to both sides because if we're using the two lamination machines simultaneously, there's going to be two cast members working on them. And altogether, we're going to reduce the trip hazard over there and the amount of times that the cast member has to bend down, which causes a lot of stress and fatigue. So what we came up with to raise the cabinets was, instead of building a whole new cabinet set, we just made an add-on that would raise the counter space and add it all together, and the shelf was approved for completion. I hope you enjoyed my project. It's a little different than most projects probably are with being at the Walt Disney Company, but I thank you for your time and have a great day.